What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 80 of the Sorta Interesting podcast, and welcome to our third week of Rock and Reviews, where we are reviewing movies starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And for this week, I'd use the term "starring" a little loosely with this movie.
Rock.
A little cameo from The Rock there.
I
use the term starring a little loosely this week. I'd argue that The Rock co-stars with Marky Mark in this movie. But today we are reviewing Pain and Gain. I am your host. My name is Christian Patam. With me is my co-host, as always, the most electrifying man in all of podcast entertainment today, the man who will layeth the smackdown on all your candy asses, the great one, Myles, darling. How you doing?
Fantastic. I always feel so good after those intros.
It's like a wrestling announcement. You know what I'm saying? When the Rock would come out and just talk for like 10 straight minutes, he would introduce himself with all those things. But Myles,
I'm gonna get to a point one of these days where you're introducing me, and I feel confident standing there in jeans and no shirt.
And then you're just gonna fucking just rip it off.
Yeah.
Myles, if people are listening to our podcast or watching our podcast for the very first time, where can they find the rest of our podcast, our back catalog, if you will?
I don't know.
Well,
sortainteresting.com. As we listen to this one, back catalog, a podcast from the past, and you can go there. And I just noticed what we got going on in the background here. This makes me want to get a pump on right now.
That's what I'm saying.
He said, "Yeah, you're looking good." He said, "Yeah, that's good."
He's like, "Yeah, keep it going." There you go.
That's good. Keep going. Sortainteresting.com. That's where you can find this podcast, the ones from the past, and it links you to our Patreon, patreon.com/sortainteresting. That's where you can support us, not just by listening to us, but by giving us this.
Hey, Johnny Manziel right there.
Oh yeah, Money Manziel. He's in that
FCF league, baby.
Huh?
Yeah. Fan Control Football League. Shout out.
Fan Control Football. We got to talk about that at some point.
He said in one of his games, he said, "Win or lose, we booze." one of the greatest quotes ever. He's like, he just does not give a fuck. He's just out there
having a halftime speech.
He's just getting out there and just fucking around, man. He doesn't care. It's great.
Wow, that's great. I would run through a wall for that man.
For that man. Said that.
Yeah. So patreon.com, you can start at the $1 level, and that'll get you some lewds. $5 get you some nudes.
Hey. And
then from there, I don't even know. It's just sky's the limit, really. You name your price at that point, or you name what you want. So we also got Instagram. We got a Twitter. Twitter.com/sortainteresting. Remember, no G at the end of that. Sorta Interesting Podcast on Instagram, at Christian Patam, at Myles Darling. What else? Oh yeah, we're on Spotify.
Yep.
We're on SoundCloud. That's where it started. We're on the podcast app for iOS and Google Play Store.
Just also YouTube. Just go ahead and let's just type our name into the search bar there. You can just type in Sorta Interesting. All of our podcasts will pop up there. Even in Google, we are everything on the first page, Myles. I'm very proud of that. I don't know how that happens, but that just happened. But Myles, for our side podcast here, I have one trailer that we are going to watch in a bit here. But for our side podcast, I have one question for you. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. I think we have. But I want to know, what is your favorite movie of all time, Myles? I think you told me one time, but it might have changed. I don't know.
Because
that was a while ago.
I'm going to draw this one out a little bit.
Yeah, please do.
Because elaborating on like favorite movie is a lot harder than just like straight up, I like this movie. I've liked it since I was a kid. Yeah. So
I feel bad asking that. I ask people that all the time, and nobody really has a good answer. I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like, I think about this all the time, me personally. So when I ask other people, they're like, oh shit, I never thought about this. So, but I do want to know yours.
Because you can go through categories like, oh, what's your favorite drama? What's your favorite, action? I have a favorite Western, what's your favorite like this and that? But I think in terms of like favorite overall,
maybe it would be like Desert Island movie, right? Like something you would take with you and you don't mind watching it over and over again.
Yeah, and that's where I was getting to. Yeah, replayability.
Yes.
What movie can I watch over and over again where I just feel like I don't know,
Schindler's List.
Warms my.
I'm just kidding. Who the hell would ever want to watch that?
Top contender right
every
there.
Time. You'd probably kill yourself on that island if you just had that movie. You just drown yourself.
Can I build an oven with all the stuff I have on this island right now?
They come rescue you. You got like a shaved head and you got fucking like Nazi symbols like carved into your
carved onto the rocks.
Or your shaved head, but you're fucking jacked now, like Edward Norton in American History X.
Just got a bunch of coconuts. No, I'm not even gonna get into that. All right, forget it. Oh god, I'm gonna say the Count of Monte Cristo.
That's what I was thinking, because I remember you told me that a long time ago. So Count of Monte Cristo. I have an idea. How about for your birthday, during that week, we could review that movie for your birthday. You could do the plot rundown since that's your favorite. So
that's a really good idea, and I like that.
I've seen that movie probably one time. No, maybe twice. But I remember liking it, that's for sure. I remember Jim Caviezel before he was Jesus Christ.
Before he was Jesus. And Superman before he was Superman.
Oh, shit, that's right. He was in there, huh? And then Guy Pearce as well. Yeah. And Dumbledore. Yeah. Dumbledore's in that too. Oh, shit, man.
Original Dumbledore.
Who directed that movie?
Played the priest. I don't know, but I know who. Okay, so I have read some of the book.
That's right, it is a book.
It's like 1,000-something pages.
I feel like it's kind of boring to read. It's one of those super old books, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they have an abridged version that's actually easier to read.
Is it like the King James Bible where it's like easier to read?
Yeah, in a sense,
like
kind of.
Old Testament and New Testament Bible.
Because this was written back in like the 1400s, I want to say.
Yeah, nobody wants to read that. That shit is fucking boring. You don't even know what they're saying.
Ultimate story of like betrayal, of revenge. It's like the book. There's a lot in it that they changed for the movie, but in a sense, it's the same kind of like premise. And I don't know. I love them both equally for what they bring to the table. But the movie, I could just watch that movie all the time.
V for Vendetta, that's his favorite movie too. But he was watching the old one, the really old one, like the black and white
really
one.
Old.
But
God, what about you?
Me, my favorite movie of all time is I flip flopped like back and forth between these two. It used to be once upon a time I used to work in Los Angeles in this film company as an intern. Yeah, that fucking sucked. That took like 2 hours to drive through, and then after like a month, I was like, "Fuck this shit! I'm fucking paying for gas up the ass, have no job, and I'm not getting paid for this
internship."
Oh
right?
my, yeah, it was an unpaid internship. It was a fucking pain in the ass to get there. It took 2 hours, but yeah, at that time I was like, you know what, Pulp Fiction's my favorite movie of all time. I love that movie, and it's great, and it was such a filmy, like a film buff movie. You know, I could talk to all the fucking film assholes about that movie all day, right? And then I kind of came to terms, and I was like, you know what, it's great, but my favorite movie of all time since I was a kid is Jurassic Park. Like that movie, I have watched that movie probably over 50 times. Like, I mean, I will never get sick of that movie. I got a patch on my jacket, Jurassic Park on there. My fucking, it's my favorite movie, hands down. It's
that's on your, I mean, that's your number one. That's
number one
George
of all
Washington
time.
Or Abraham Lincoln, depending on how you're looking at it, under Rushmore. Right?
I came to terms with it. I was like, it's not sexy when it comes to talking to film people about it, but that's just that's like the nerdy side of me. I was like, not Transformers. Jurassic Park, fucking favorite movie of all time. Pulp Fiction number 2.
You got Michael Bay on your mind, that's why.
Yeah, that's why I got Michael Bay. But yeah, Pulp Fiction close number 2. It's definitely up
Pulp
there.
Fiction is. I want to say too that is a very very close contender. Because
that movie,
I could watch that all the time, honestly. Like, and you can come in at any moment in that movie and just
absolutely.
You know, if it's on TV, I'm not skipping it.
Yeah, it's a little long. It's like it's kind of hard to sit through it all the time, but it's one of the best movies ever, and I'd argue that's probably the movie that got me into like film and cinematography and all that stuff, like the little details about filmmaking. Like that's what sparked my
the way they like
passion
jump
for
back
film.
And forth too. Really, like it has you thinking you're like, oh, okay, where are we? Oh, wait, how does that person? Oh, that person connects to this person, and like they're telling you the story, but you're also deciphering the story at the same time.
And just
you're
the cast of that fucking movie, man.
Cast,
Just all-star cast. It's unbelievable, man. But
arguably one of the best memes to come from that movie with John Travolta, where he's
he's like, what? Man, yeah, I totally forgot about that one. But also, I mean, Jurassic Park as well. Just the cast of that, Jeff Goldblum as well, and then fucking Sam Neill, and it's a shame though what they've done with that series. Have you watched any of like the new Jurassic Worlds?
Only the one before the last, I guess the
first one, like Jurassic World, I think, and then I think it was Jurassic World Dominion was after, and then a new Jurassic World is coming out. I forgot. I think that one's called Fallen Kingdom or something. But the good thing is this next one they're coming out with, they're bringing back everybody. So they're bringing back Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern.
What?
Yeah. So I don't know how that's gonna. I think it's gonna be both the best of both worlds because it's gonna have I think Chris Pratt in there as well, and Bryce Dallas Howard. So it's gonna be a
she finally gonna go to jail for what she did in the first Jurassic World.
What did she do? I can't remember.
She's faced no consequences to what she was doing, and like she basically set those
Oh, she set them all free.
Like she was the main reason why they got out. And
I fucking hated those. I watched Jurassic World and Jurassic World Dominion.
Bloodshed.
Two of the worst movies I've ever fucking seen. It's a shame what they did to those movies. But I digress. Number one, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park 2 is pretty good.
Boy,
too.
You know that's
Jurassic Park 2, not bad. Okay, people give it a bad rap. I love it. I mean,
it too.
Vince Vaughn, Julianne Moore's in there. It's great.
More Julianne, please. That's a good movie. Yeah, the soundtrack alone gives me goosebumps.
And it reminds me of Universal Studios every time because they have that big like caravan thing at Universal Studios. You can see it over there, so it's really cool.
Welcome to Jurassic.
But yeah, definitely we will do Count of Monte Cristo during your birthday week. That would be a lot of fun. But Myles, let's get into our trailer for today. Today, I want to watch the Army of the Dead trailer. Have you heard of this movie?
No.
So this movie, I believe, is a Zack Snyder movie. It's like a spin-off of what is that? There's another Dead movie, but this movie has like Bautista in it. It's got
Land of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Land of the Dead. It's supposed to be I think a spin-off of Land of the Dead back in the day, which was pretty good. I can't really remember. I know it had Nathan Fillion in it, and it had John Leguizamo in it, but I remember liking it. But let's get into this trailer for the first time. I have not watched this. This came out probably about 2 days ago. So
it's Lex.
Oh, hey.
Say hi.
Oh, hold on. Let me share my screen with you. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Army of the Dead official teaser.
Hey, that's Aria.
I think it's gonna be in
Vegas.
Netflix.
Planet Hollywood. Well. What the hell? Oh.
From Zack Snyder.
So it's gonna be epic.
There's gonna be a lot of CG shots. That's for sure.
Wow.
Damn, it's a long way from now. May 21st. Shit. Dude, I'm just saying this right now. I'm going to pause this. Bautista needs to be Marcus Phoenix in a Gears of War movie. I mean, he looks perfect right there. Look what all this armor and shit on. He would look amazing.
Whoa.
But I digress. I mean,
I can see that, yeah, right? But I just don't.
He really wants to too. He's a big fan of the video game series. He was in the video game. I think Gears 5. He was a little DLC add-on for like the Horde mode and everything. So he'd be perfect for it. Yeah.
That's perfect. Good casting. Should be a casting director. Should moonlight as a casting director.
That's heavy, brother. But I dig it.
Oh, that was it. Okay. Well.
Wow.
Fun fact: Chris D'Elia was actually cast as the helicopter pilot in that, but since his
I remember seeing. Yeah,
since his scandal went down, he got taken out of the movie and he got replaced with another comedian. So they had to reshoot all of his scenes and like green screen this comedian in there. And I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work, man. It's gonna look like shit when you green screen another person in shots that they're not even involved with in real life. It's gonna look weird. But
he really screwed.
Yeah,
he's just everybody over there.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm looking forward to that. It's a Netflix exclusive, so I don't really. You don't have to pay for it, thank God. So if it's on Netflix, I'll watch it. Who cares? I like zombie. I like anything zombie, really. So I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Zack Snyder. I'll give any Zack Snyder movie a go, even though
a tug.
Even though 90% of his stuff is caca, but I'm still all about it. Myles, let's get into some production details for Pain and Gain here. Release date April 26, 2013.
Go back to the
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me share my others.
Oh, you're still recording it. I just can't see it.
There you go. Yeah, production details. Release date April 26, 2013. Director Michael Bay. You know him, you love him, or you hate him. Who knows? Kind of been a regular around this podcast, known for Transformers and Bad Boys 1 and 2, many other movies as well. Writer, Myles. I don't know if you're ready for this. I had no idea until I looked this up. Writer, Christopher Marcus. Get ready for this resume, okay? Known for The Chronicles of Narnia, the whole trilogy. Known for Captain America, the First Avenger, Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War, Avengers: Infinity War, and Avengers: Endgame. I was like, this man has made everything that he's made my 4 favorite MCU movies of all time, and how did I not even know his name? I mean, what kind of fan
he
am
took
I?
a big hard dip on that Dark World, but
that's what I'm saying. That's one of the worst. Yeah, he went from the worst MCU movie to the greatest, I'd say, which is probably
your favorite is Civil War, isn't it?
My favorite Civil War, yeah. So.
Yeah. That's I know you got a soft spot for that, so you probably got a chub on for this guy.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, what? How did I not know this man's name? But yeah, my 4 favorite: Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. Probably everyone's favorite, really. But yeah, quite a resume on that man. Budget a measly $26 million. Nothing to make this. I mean, Michael Bay had this in his wallet. Probably he's just like, all right, let's just give this money out. And then a box office of $86.2 million, which isn't bad, but also
that's a good come up based on what you know.
Right.
At the time too, 2013. Who top billed was Marky Mark, obviously. Yeah, and you know, The Rock wasn't on the radar, or he was.
I'd say he was still on the rise. Yeah, I mean, he was.
Yeah, he just wasn't the complete A-list, like the cream of the crop. Like you're the one who you're casting for him, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like nowadays. So yeah, I could see 26 million, I guess.
Yeah, they made their money back, made a little bit more, but also not great compared to, you know, other movies that year. But runtime 2 hours, 9 minutes, just a little long for my taste, but I'll get more details into that later. But Myles, what were your initial reactions of Pain and Gain?
So I told you, this is like the first time I've seen this movie in its entirety. And this movie came out in 2013. That's 8 years ago.
Oh. Damn, it is old now. Fuck.
Yeah.
We're old.
Dude, I like Marky Mark, you know. I love Shooter. Okay. That's one of my
Oh man, I totally forgot about Shooter.
Fantastic movie.
Him and Michael Pena, right? Michael Pena was in that as well. Oh shit.
Michael Pena is another actor that's just
what an underrated movie, Shooter. I totally forgot about that. Damn.
Yeah, that's a great movie, and it's got who's the chick from House of Cards?
Something Mara.
Kate Mara. There you go.
Rooney's sister. That's right.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Rooney Mara?
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Her sister, yeah.
The more you know. Anyways, the cast, I mean, Anthony Mackie too.
Fantastic, man. I totally forgot he was in this.
Falcon. I did too. Yeah. You got, and then God, dude, directed by Michael Bay, but I knew that, like, watching the movie without even seeing the credits or without looking anything up, just based on like, you're right, yeah.
I can tell you
camera
because of
angles.
one shot. There's that Miami sign with the sunset behind it, and it's an orange shot. I'm like, this is the same exact shot that we did in Bad Boys, which you could watch on sortainteresting.com or listen to. Sorry, we did did podcasts on all three of those movies. So, yeah,
what a great plug right there.
Shameless plug.
I think this movie, it's all based on a true story,
which is crazy.
Yeah, it was just really crazy. They reinforced that towards the end too, when they say like still based on a true
Still
story. I'm
true
like,
story,
because like you think like, or movies that are based on a true story, they kind of like exaggerate some things for the theatrical experience.
I'm sure this was heavily exaggerated with a lot.
I'm sure it was, but I'm sure because they did that right after the part where they're grilling up,
Yeah, except for that part. Maybe that part's like,
yeah, I can see that, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, damn. Until they got to that point, I'm like, this is a little over the top, and then maybe not so much. It did kind of drag, and even though it's based on a true story, you want to get as much as you can in there, but it's just some of the shots just could have been cut. I want to see more working out. I want to see more. The Rock is so massive in here.
Oh my God, Myles!
Holy smokes, dude! His neck,
his traps start like right behind his ears. They're fucking up here, dude. I'm like, holy fucking shit!
It's like a berserker from Gears of War.
Yeah,
and berserkers are female.
Are they?
Yeah,
what?
Those big ones, they're female.
You're blowing my fucking mind. What the hell?
Yeah.
Where do they get all the testosterone for those traps? Jesus.
Dude, I know, right? Maybe it's opposite. Maybe the guys are just like little dainty little.
What the hell? Female.
So this movie was it was a lot to, I don't know. I felt like there was something missing.
Right. Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree.
And I think it was something missing on the Michael Bay standpoint. Like I expected more, but not necessarily more in like story wise, because I knew going into it based on a true story was like you can't get much more from it. I don't know. There's just something missing in my book, and I just wasn't all that impressed with the movie. But it again, I still watched it, and I don't think it was a bad movie.
No, yeah, I don't think it was bad at all either. But
just wasn't impressed.
I never did watch this movie in the movie theater, but I do remember watching this a little before Hercules came out, and I was blown the fuck away just at the sheer size and girth of The Rock in this movie. I mean, this is hands down the most juiced up, biggest, the bulkiest Rock we've ever seen. It's like borderline Mr. Olympia shit. He is just that big. But I wanted to include this movie, even though The Rock isn't technically the star of this. I'd say Marky Mark is the star. But I wanted to include it because it is very different from any other movie he has ever been in.
Yes.
Like usually he's a pretty squeaky clean, family-friendly guy, right? In all of his movies he's in, he's very on brand for who he is in real life. But in this, he is the total opposite of all of that. It is so fun and refreshing to see him in this role. He's a jacked out, coked up convict, but there's also some like sort of like idiot like innocence in him as well. Like he's very much like Lenny in Mice and Men. You know what I'm saying? Like where he could choke you and kill you with his bare hands, but he's just a soft teddy bear in the inside.
And he's easily like kind of like manipulated in a way, like mentally.
He's not all there. Yeah. He's so unhinged, and it's just
you can take advantage of him.
Yeah. I mean, it was just so much fucking fun to watch him in this role. I mean, he was definitely my favorite part about this whole movie. Just the range that he went through in this, it was so good.
I completely agree with you there, and I'll add to my point that The Rock is like, he's a good part of the movie where you get to see where he can go to. You know, he's the coked out like. That was awesome to see.
It's crazy to see him like that, right? You just never see him like that ever. They just want to keep that squeaky clean image of him, but I just love that he took this role and just went all out with it. But story wise, it's just okay. It's just very typical kind of heist stuff, just typical Michael Bay shit that you see in every one of his movies. But yeah, like you were talking about, it's the cast of this movie that makes it what it is. And to be honest, I'm not even talking about Marky Mark. Like, I like Marky Mark as an actor. You see him in Shooter and like Lone Survivor, like movies like that. He's good in. But honestly, his track record not that great.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, and straight up with you, that Marky Mark he's not a good actor.
No, he's not.
He's not a good actor.
I have in my notes here. He's the weakest part of this movie for sure.
He is.
Yeah.
And just really the movies that he's in, he is not a good actor. His line delivery is terrible. And I'm speaking from years of experience in the industry. I'm just saying, just from what I've seen, like, and you could take this with a grain of salt because of, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I mean, I'm just saying, in terms of acting, it's just not great. I'm not convinced by his acting.
No, I mean, because he's Marky Mark. He's a rapper from Boston. You know what I'm saying? He's a
funky fucking
bunch. The fucking funky bunch.
Are you a Southie?
I mean, he's great in that movie. I fucking love Departed. Probably my favorite movie.
I love that dude. He plays because he's an asshole.
He's got some of the greatest one-liners in the history of film in that movie. He's so good in that. But he does have he has his lane, right, where he's good as a serious guy, where he's an asshole and he's basically himself, right? He's kind of an old version of himself from Southie Boston. But yeah, Anthony Mackie is just fucking great in this movie, and they really put him out there in terms of stardom. He got all those crazy roles after, and Falcon. And
I was hoping he was gonna be bigger.
This was like at the start of that working out. He definitely worked out more during his MCU days. Yeah, that put him up there in terms of stardom. And then the great Tony Shalhoub. Just I make fun of the man for.
That's right. Oh my god.
I make fun of the man for being in Monk, even though I've never seen him seen the show.
You've never seen Monk?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, dude.
Is it good?
It is. I love that show.
I mean, I might have to watch it now because after seeing Tony Shalhoub in this, I'm like, I fucking love Tony Shalhoub. I forgot how much I love him.
He plays like a germophobic investigator.
Right. Yeah.
And he's always he's almost got like OCD, borderline kind of. So he's got to like do certain things.
It kind of reminds me. I haven't seen the show, but it kind of reminds me of like a Mr. Bean kind of character, where he's just like kind of stumbling through things and.
Almost, but Mr. Bean, there's something where he's not all there. Tony in Monk, he's all there.
Oh, okay.
And the supporting cast that he has is great. It's a show that you should watch.
That's been done for probably over 10 years now. But yeah, I would like to watch that now after seeing Tony Shalhoub in this. But yeah, goddamn, that man is a fantastic actor, and it's really nice to see him on the big screen again.
He is.
I know he's been on that show, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is on Amazon. Where
I've seen some of that show.
He's really good in that. It's a great show. I think he was either nominated or he won an Emmy or a Golden Globe for it. He plays the father of the main character, and he's great. But yeah, I haven't seen him on the big screen since maybe Men in Black days, those old movies since maybe early 2000s, So it's really nice to see him on the big screen again. Great role in Men in Black. Great role.
You have any idea how much that hurts?
Yeah, but I'd say Tony Shalhoub and The Rock are definitely the best part about this movie, and I love how they have so many scenes together in this, and they complement each other so well in this movie. And it's so
he's
good.
Like the giant teddy bear, and then Tony's I love Tony's character. I just realized a part of this movie that, not The Rock, and for me, for you, it's probably The Rock.
I'd say The Rock is my favorite part for sure.
It's Tony. When he's beat up and he's just in the hotel room, and you just see him just being I don't know. It's something about
good, man. But
maybe it's from watching him in Monk. Seeing him as a straight edge kind of guy. Seeing him in Spy Kids.
Oh my god. Dude, and I just found this out. Maybe Lex will get a kick out of this too. He is the voice of the Italian guy, the Italian car in Cars.
What's
his name? Luigi. He's the voice of Luigi in Cars. How crazy is that? I had
Oh,
no
I gotta tell her
idea.
this
Yeah,
after
tell her
that,
right
dude.
now. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I had no
Got
idea.
her. She's plugged in.
Oh, but
she's
yeah.
into the matrix. She's in the matrix right now.
Yeah, she's plugged in. But yeah, I mean, this movie overall was good, but it definitely could have been better. First of all, way too much goddamn fat on this movie. In typical Michael Bay fashion, the man just loves jerking off on screen and showing all kinds of like action and long shots of Miami. But the movie was probably about maybe 20 to 30 minutes too long. Like they could have cut a lot of that.
2
out.
hours, right? It's about 2 hours 6 minutes. It says.
Yeah, 2 hours 6 minutes, and the ending they could have definitely cut a lot of that out because it felt like we were starting a whole nother movie. Like towards the end, where it's like, oh, we got to do another heist on another person. It's like, how many heists are we gonna do? We just did this other one, and we're starting.
They could have got to that
nother
heist quicker.
Yeah,
you know, they kind of
start that in the middle of the movie, not the end. Yeah.
Yeah, no, start the movie off with the heist.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the first one, backtrack a little bit, then go into the second one where they have to, you know, do this, and then they kill the other guy, you know, and shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just the pacing was a little like
that's what it was.
off.
The pacing was weird. Yeah, it was off. But yeah, I really wanted to love this movie, but
excuse me.
No problem. Bless you. Bless your soul. Child of mine. Yeah.
Too much of this whiskey.
I wanted to love this movie, but Michael Bay sometimes just rubbed me the wrong way with most of his movies. Even my favorite movie from him, Bad Boys 2, was still pretty long because of the same reasons why I mentioned before. Just a lot of long shots that they don't need, a lot of exposition and setup that isn't necessary. Yeah, overall, I thought it was fun. It was fun to watch. I had a good time watching this again. I watched it one time.
It definitely got me inspired. I went to the gym today,
dude. That's what I'm saying. And, literally, after watching this movie, I'm like, I'm booking I'm going to the gym tomorrow. Like, I didn't go today, but I'll do it tomorrow.
You said you're booking because you have to actually book.
I gotta fucking literally book an appointment.
Flight.
Ridiculous.
You know.
But yeah, I'm going tomorrow, so I'm very excited. Maybe, hopefully that fire doesn't die down in the middle of the night, and I'm just like, yeah.
I know, right? I'm already planning. I'm hitting the golf. I'm hitting the range tomorrow in the morning, and I'm gonna plan on going to the gym after that. And then who knows?
Sky's the limit. Maybe you'll start wearing.
Sky's the limit. I might even eat some salad.
Maybe you'll start wearing spaghetti strap tank tops. Maybe you'll start wearing tracksuits with no shirt underneath. Who knows, Miles? Sky's the limit when you start going to the gym. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, I just went to Lululemon today. All right, so
there you go. See, you're off on the right track. Miles, let's get into a plot rundown here. Movie opens up with an introduction to our antagonist of our movie, Daniel Lugo, played by Marky Mark Wahlberg, with his legs wrapped around a pipe on the side of a wall, doing the most aggressive sit-ups in the history of mankind, all while yelling, "I'm big, I'm hot." And then
like the camera that they have where it's
where it's like
right
on
here, like the GoPro.
Yeah, did you notice though? There were so many goddamn GoPro shots. I'm like, all right, maybe one or two, cool, but don't leave the shot on there.
Some of them I liked, you know, like some of like the shots like where they're in the car and it's like right here almost.
Yeah.
And then I like that shot. But like you know, some of the shots
they had one specific shot where it was like a close up of Marky Mark, but it was his sunglasses. They were like reflectors, and you could see the Rock's like reflection off the sunglasses, and he's like looking right into the sunglasses. I'm like, oh, that's pretty sick. But
yeah.
Typically, GoPro shots not so great. Kind of takes you out of the moment, you know.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot. Before we keep going, another addition to this movie that I didn't even know he was in it. Ed Harris.
Oh yeah, Ed Harris. Totally forgot he was in this too. Yeah, I love Ed Harris and everything.
And he's like actually like
he's in great shape, dude.
Good shape, man.
For his age, when he's doing those fucking curls, I'm like, yo, he's fucking jacked, man.
I'm like, damn, dude. All right.
Oh man, the Man in Black. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's doing the most aggressive sit-ups in history when all of a sudden he sees the cops coming after him and he has to book it. But he is surrounded by the police, and we get the date, June 17th, 1995 on the screen, and the title screen for Pain and Gain, all while Marky Mark is running in super slow-mo. Then we cut to a VO by the legend Ed Harris, who says the events we are about to see take place in Miami, Florida.
Ed Harris?
Right on. Yeah, the first VO. The events take place in Miami, Florida between October 1994 and June 1995. We basically get the same exact shots of the Miami sign that we saw in Bad Boys fucking 15 years ago. It's like they reused the footage or something. Then we cut to 6 months later at a place called Sun Gym, and we get a little more backstory on Daniel and his love for fitness, and he compares success in life to working out in the gym, which I'm like, he's not completely wrong. I mean, if you take The Rock, for example, his work ethic, I mean, he takes that from the gym and then he takes that to business. Like it's the same thing. The way he works out is the same he works in business.
And he's in so many things. Like he really just doesn't stop.
The man does not fucking sleep. It's unbelievable the way he runs his life.
He's like a model to like. He's like one of those guys where it's like I don't want to. It's like who do I model my life after? Yeah. Oh, myself. You know, I'm gonna one up myself, and then I'm gonna be my idol is myself next week, you know, next month, next year. And I'm like, damn, those people are just like workaholics. And
I'll be honest,
like, I applaud him for that.
Yeah, his social media, a little too much of that tequila. I'm like, all right, I had enough. I know what your tequila is. You don't have to include it in every post. You don't have to put hashtag Terramana with a picture of your daughter. Okay, I get it.
I do like the name of that though, Terramana.
Yeah, I don't know what it means, but it's cool.
I don't either.
We are introduced to another one of our antagonists, Adrian Doorball, played by Anthony Mackie, who is getting his arm measured after a workout, and the guy's like measuring it, and he's like, "That's it?" And then the guy's like, "Sorry, just keep working harder." And then so what does he do? He gets on the fucking sauce, baby. He starts shooting up the steroids in the locker room. Then we see a new client of Daniel's posing for pictures at the gym, calling himself Schwarzenegger. He's like just posing in front of the thing. Then we are introduced to Victor Kershaw, played by Monk himself, Tony Shalhoub. It's a jungle out there.
Yeah.
Then Daniel and Victor. God, what a fucking theme song. I mean, if you got a theme song by Randy Newman, you're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
That's so good. I'm telling you, you gotta watch it, man.
I know. I'm really excited
for all of you out there.
I've been looking for a new show to start, so I think that might be the next one. Honestly, I'm very excited for that.
USA, I think that was on USA.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They have a lot of good shows.
Burn Notice on USA.
Hey, Suits also, and Royal Pains. Royal Pains is a good show.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I remember. Yeah, I like the story of that.
He's a doctor to the Hamptons. Yeah, you know, it's just luxury, and it's like MTV Cribs, but like with the plot.
Then Daniel and Victor get to talking while they are working out, and Daniel learns that Victor is quite a successful businessman. They cut to Daniel in a meeting with his boss and owner of the gym, John Meese, played by Rob Corddry. You know I'm a dreamer, but my heart's a gold. I had a runaway high. I was like, dude, this is so... I fucking forgot he was in this. I love Rob Corddry. Go watch Hopped Up Time Machine if you haven't. It's fucking fantastic. Also,
my fucking favorite picture in there is him on the table of where he's...
I was about to say, my next note here on John's desk, there's a great picture of him in his wrestling singlet doing the fucking... He's doing this.
With the thing on, and he's
doing this, and I'm like, oh, is that an old high school picture? No, it looks like the picture was taken yesterday. It's like a fresh picture.
He's in his singlet. I don't.
It is such a good touch, dude. I fucking love that. It's so fucking funny.
New favorite word, by the way. I just used that in the
euthanize
wrong context. Euthanize. That's to make someone look younger.
That's what I thought that was before I knew what it actually was. What a dark word it is, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then Daniel tells John he can triple their membership rate. Then we get a flashback and more backstory on Daniel. We see him hustling some old folks and eventually goes to jail. Then after getting hired by John, we see how Daniel improved the gym. He offers free waxes for first-timers, free memberships to strippers, to which he calls delicious. Then we see Anthony Mackie training a dude, and he yells at him. He says, "You look like a big sirloin steak, baby. I like that." And he starts like slapping his arms. It's so fucking funny. And then cut to another training session with Daniel and Victor. Daniel was helping Victor stretch when Victor smells something that stinks and tells Daniel he smells like a Cuban stripper. And then Victor asks Daniel if he makes good money at the gym, and he tells him you should do what he does, keep money in offshore accounts. Then we get some more VO from Daniel about how much he hates his life and how he wants to have the money and the women, but he tells Anthony Mackie they deserve better just for being so jacked and juicy, and just they're in great shape, but they got nothing in their lives. Then we cut to one of those get-rich-quick seminars held by Johnny Woo, played by Ken Jeong. Totally forgot he was in this as well. He's so great. Dr. Ken Jeong, sorry. And then, of course, it's all bullshit telling people that they can do it. And Daniel's
what was the slogan? I love that slogan that he said. He's like, if you believe it, you will achieve it, or something like that.
It's like some,
or you will receive it.
Some like standard bullshit that everybody says. And then after this, he comes up with a plan to find the guy with the money, who is, of course, Tony Shalhoub's character, make him give everything he owns, and of course, he brings Anthony Mackie in on this plan. Then Anthony Mackie's all over this idea, but they need one more person for this operation. And then we cut back to the gym, where the boss tells Marky Mark there's someone here to interview for a job. We are introduced to Paul Doyle, played by The Rock.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
And just we see The Rock, and he's in a tank top and jeans doing pull-ups, and he's just there he is, cameo by The Rock.
There he is.
Just looking juicy as fuck, and he's super sweaty, like he's back in Brazil in Fast 5. And then we learn that The Rock did time in jail up north, and he's having a hard time finding a job right now. And then we get a flashback of what he did to get locked up. We see him in the car getting.
I still don't understand what he did. I understand, like,
I think he was just robbing someone.
And to rob somebody?
He got caught. Yeah, he got caught. Yeah, we get a flashback of what he did to get locked up, and we see him in the car getting high as a fucking kite on coke, and robbing a house, and we can see how just unstable he is. The next, we see him in jail, and he is saved by religion, and his mission is to, quote, save all of God's creatures. And then we see Rock save a guy getting beat up by some inmates.
In the yard, yeah.
And we get I don't know if you noticed this, Myles. We get a little cameo from the wrestling legend himself, Kurt Angle. He was he was the guy he like threw the 45 plate at.
Oh, he threw it at his throat?
In the throat, yeah.
What?
That's Kurt Angle, dude.
That's Kurt Angle?
Yeah, I totally forgot he was in there. And then we see him working at the gym with Marky Mark, and the two have become quick friends. And the gang is now at a strip club, and we get a great scene with Anthony Mackie, where he tells The Rock that he's drinking breast milk to bulk up, and then he buys the breast milk off of a pregnant chick, and he mixes it with steroids for a real HGH shake. It's fucking, that is so disgusting.
Dude, oh god.
I mean, I'm sure that gets you real big, though. I'm sure that gets you real big. Some breast milk
at work my coworker was telling me, because everybody I work with, they're all
on steroids. Oh, no.
Parents. No, definitely not.
Dude, that house would be built in like 2 days if they just fucking lifting whole walls by themselves and shit.
I'll put fucking doors up by ourselves. The doors weigh so much. Doors weigh over like 100 pounds. Oh my god. They're telling me, like, hey man, have you ever tried breast milk? No.
I heard it's real like sour.
I have. They said it's like the best for you. And
really?
Like,
I heard it's good for you, but I don't know if it's like tastes good. But I'm willing to give it a try. I'll try anything.
I'm not a fan of warm milk, so.
Oh, that's true. Maybe put it in the fridge and then try it. You know.
Yeah, but then it's like it's been sitting there. I don't know.
I'll try anything once. I'll try it once.
22s.
I mean, what if you get so jacked off of it though? Like, what if you're fucking just shredded after drinking it? You know, I mean,
interesting.
I'm willing to give it a try.
All right.
And then Marky Mark introduces The Rock and us to Sorina, the stripper played by Bar Polly.
Polly.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
Is that a real accent?
I don't know, but the name makes me think it is. But I don't know. It sounded like a terrible accent, but when I look at her name, I'm like, maybe she is actually European.
Bar Polly Pomona?
Yeah, it's played by Bar Polly, who thinks they are casting for a music video. And we get some VO and backstory of Sorina, who was in a beauty pageant back home in Transylvania with Dracula, and she makes her way to the U.S. through Mexico. And then Mark, yeah, what?
So sketchy.
I know, right?
So sketchy. She drops her off in the middle.
How did she get from Mexico all the way to Miami? That's a long way.
Why is she looking at the very top of that rock, you know, like one of those rocks that Tom Cruise Mission Impossible would climb.
Mission Impossible 2, dude.
Like one of those. You should just see Tom Cruise just scaling the side of it.
Dude, when he like hangs off with like no hands, I'm like, yo, this is fucking crazy. This is crazy.
Alex Honnold, shout out. El Cap.
Oh, is that the what's his name? Yeah, where he's a free solo. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, what a crazy documentary.
What a good watch that by the way too. Yeah, you gotta watch that.
Then Mark tells The Rock that he tells The Rock about their big plan, but The Rock says he's trying to live a clean life now and he wants no part of it. Now we get some backstory in VO from Anthony Mackie, who says that Marky Mark is his best friend and he would ride or die for him. They're bad boys for life, everybody. Then we see him try to watch. Anthony Mackie's trying to watch some adult videos, but he is unable to get it up due to the amount of steroids. He gets like the Vaseline. I'm like, dude, don't use Vaseline. You know that's impossible to get off of your penis after getting it. You have to take a whole shower.
Oil based. You cannot take a. No, if it just bounces off.
Yeah,
water
even taking a shower.
This is fundamental science.
Even taking a shower is gonna take fucking 20 minutes to get off.
Done.
But yeah, he's unable to get it up due to the amount of steroids he's been taking, which I've learned, watching like Pumping Iron and all that shit, like those bodybuilding documentaries where it messes with your testosterone levels. Yeah, and then the steroids and HGH give your body an excessive amount of testosterone, so your body is just like, hey, we don't need any more of this. Let's just stop making it. So it really fucks you up.
Because you need the naturally produced testosterone for your naturally produced man.
For your huevos. And then Anthony Mackie heads to the doctor, and we are introduced to his nurse, Robin, played by Rebel Wilson, which shout out to her, man. She's lost a ton of weight lately.
She went on that Adele kick, Yeah,
that's right. She
looking fantastic.
Yeah, she's been catching a lot of shit from women saying like she's a sellout for losing weight. The same thing with Adele. Remember, people getting mad at her
because she sellout for getting healthy.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry for prolonging her life.
People think that she's giving into like the social norms, which is fucking ridiculous. Like, stop this. I mean, the woman's just trying to get healthy. Just leave her the fuck alone. Same thing.
What is the social norm now? Like, just get off your high horse,
Because people are like promoting like these big models and women. They're like, hey, body positivity, no fat shaming. I'm like, okay. There's fat shaming and there's just how about you're unhealthy. It doesn't matter if you're fat, just get healthy. But Anthony Mackie tells her he hasn't been able to get it up since the steroids, and she says, don't worry about that. That's what we specialize here. Penis magic. And she gives him a little wink.
Oh, dude, we get a freaking little guest.
I'm about to get to this here, but she tells him it takes a lot of balls to come in here, and Anthony Mackie quips with more like raisinets. And she responds back with chocolate-covered raisinets, and then she fucking licks her lips. It was so fun, dude. Rebel Wilson, she's really good at like that ad-lib shit. She is so fucking funny at that stuff.
She is hilarious,
She's great, man. And then we see
a lot of people too. Hold on, real quick. I think a lot of people get mad, like, if Chris Farley was still going on, or today, it was still alive today.
Yeah.
And if he had gotten on a fitness kick and got skinny, do you think he'd still be funny today?
That's what I'm saying. People don't like people. Yeah, it's not
equate funny. Being like that big person with that. Their comedy is based off of being big.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
And so that's where I probably think like a lot of those people are thinking like, oh, why did she go skinny? She could have been the funny fat girl.
Yeah.
Always,
especially when it comes to comedy.
Over sexualizing things. Yeah. But I don't know. Let's give her a shot and see what she's got. But I mean, she is funny nonetheless in this movie.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter about her size in this. It's just fucking funny.
No, dude, she is hilarious. Yeah. She's a hilarious person. I love her.
And then we see the doctor, played by motherfucking Peter Stormare, my fucking favorite, who was a regular in Michael Bay movies.
Pencil.
With a fucking pencil. And then he tells Anthony that is a steroid-induced impotence. And he tells him with one of these shots to the penis, you will return to those big, beautiful, robust erections from your high school days. And then Anthony says that he had
you remember those high school days,
you remember that, right? He's like, you know what? I had a nickname for my dick in high school. Used to call it Ernesto. Which is so fucking.
And then what did fucking Rebel say?
Comes up with this shit. I don't remember. What did she say? I didn't write it down.
She was like, I used to name my
her vagina. Yeah. Yeah. I just like the way Anthony Mackie said it though. Ernesto with like a hard like roll of the R's. So fucking funny. Then cut to The Rock working at a church. And then the man he works works for, tries to make a move on the Rock after watching him
The
sweat.
dude from Seinfeld.
Yeah, that guy
Dude that
from
lived,
Seinfeld. Yeah,
upstairs.
yeah. The Rock's like drinking iced tea with his overalls on,
Dude, he's chugging
and
that
he's
shit,
like,
too.
"Wow, look at your muscles. the sun is just bouncing off of your muscles." Then he tries to make a move on the Rock, which I don't blame this man at all. I mean, look at him.
In today's climate, how dare you?
He is a specimen. God damn. And then the Rock decides to leave the church
really
after
is.
whipping his candy ass, nearly killing the man. And then now the Rock is in on Marky Mark's plan. Then the gang goes to a weapon shop that looks like it's straight out of GTA. This place looks awesome. And then I put here a quick side note. Shout out to all of the Rock's outfits in this whole movie. Like, we see him like at the church, what I just mentioned. He's wearing overalls, but he's got like one strap like hanging off. He's got no shirt underneath. And then now at this weapon shop, he's wearing this dope ass red Nike tank top. You remember
Dude,
that?
that
This
is my favorite tank top that he wears.
love. He wears that, and he wears like another color with Nike. I'm like, dude, that tank top is fucking sick.
You know why? And it's the fashion that's in today is
Yeah.
really 90s.
Yeah.
A lot of the 90s coming back, dude. I was just at the Nike store.
Mm-hmm. Do they have
South
it?
Coast
Do
Park.
they even have those
And
anymore?
They have like old Nike logos,
Oh.
like on their old like vintage like
I'm into that.
vintage
Yeah.
jackets. You know, like the not that
Like windbreakers and shit.
yeah, windbreaker type material,
Yeah.
but it's like it almost looks kind of like wrinkled a little bit. You know, like
Oh
where-
yeah.
I don't know how
like a
to-
textured kind of like
Yeah, it's not like the straight
Hmm.
like sleek look of like, you know.
Dude, I'm into that. I need to go to a Nike shop then, man. But man, that red tank top was so sick. And then
From
like,
the Nike shop.
bitch, I got a Nike shop. And then like a later scene, we see when they're doing the planning phase, the Rock is like in a tactical vest, but he's got no sleeves and no shirt underneath, and he's wearing a fucking dope ass camo hat. I'm like, dude, the Rock's outfits in this are fucking
He has a
spot on.
fucking
Yeah,
raccoon eye, cricket.
his outfits are so cool.
Yeah.
And then the gang try and attempt at kidnapping Tony Shalhoub, but they get there and Tony is at his house with his family celebrating Shabbat, which is so fucking funny because of course none of these dudes are Jewish, so
None of them.
how could they possibly know what's going on?
They're like, oh, crap, we
Yeah,
can't do it right now. We gotta get out of here.
The Rock's reaction, right when he sees them, he's like, "Oh!" And he turns around, and then Marky Mark's, "They're celebrating Shabbat." Abort
Did you not
mission.
see that massive
Yeah.
man? He's swoller than the pillar that he's standing behind.
It's so fucking funny. So they have to abort mission. And they catch up. They hatch up another plan, and Marky Mark gives them costumes to wear. The Rock gets a ninja costume that literally looks like a costume I wore back in like first grade. And then Anthony gets a green alien costume, which is just basically Green Man from Always Sunny.
Always Sunny.
Yeah. And then the gang spot Tony coming out of a store, and they lose track of him. And this scene is really funny too, where they kind of lose track of him. He goes in front of the car and he goes to his car, and they had to bail out on that plan as well. So they decide to hit him outside of his sandwich store. Now
Keep going. I gotta put these in.
yeah, go ahead.
God damn.
And then now Anthony has the ninja suit on, and he just pops out from behind a dumpster, and he tases Tony Shalhoub right in the head in slow motion. And they snatch him up and they blindfold him. And then Marky Mark tries to intimidate Victor by speaking with a terrible Cuban accent. But I'm glad they kind of recognized it was terrible, because Victor knows exactly who it is. And he could smell his shitty cologne, his shitty vanilla fucking Cuban stripper cologne. Then Marky Mark gets Tony on the phone with all of his associates, basically cutting ties with everyone.
Do you like ever? You know, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
here,
no,
but,
go
like,
ahead.
Do you ever think about like when you get into your head?
Yeah.
And you start thinking about shit.
I do
you
that
know, like
all the
shower
time.
thoughts
Every day.
all the time, right?
All the time.
You know, scenarios like, what if this guy attacked me? What would I do? What if this guy said this? I would say this. No, what if I was like, you take little notes here and there. What if I was gonna rob somebody? Right. Change up my cologne. All right. Change up my accent. maybe get a voiceover thing, do something like that. Obviously, you would never do it.
Yeah.
But you start picking up things, you're like, oh, that's smart. Cologne,
Even
smell,
sometimes,
take the senses into it, right?
Sometimes you got to take the shoes off sometimes and go socks, because sometimes they could get the size of your shoes, what kind of shoes you're wearing.
It's silent, yeah, that's true.
Wow. A lot of things go into it.
Shave your head, shave your body for it. No hair left behind.
Even sometimes the way you walk, maybe sometimes they can get you like that.
Yeah, you got a gait. You lean one way more. Not that kind of gait.
Yeah, then Marky Mark gets Tony on the phone with all of his associates, basically cutting ties with everyone. And he's talking on the phone with his house cleaner. He's like, no necesita cleano en el casa.
Oh, God.
And then The Rock and Tony are now alone. And Tony tells The Rock that he's sober too. And The Rock gets all excited about this. And it just sparks one of the most greatest friendships in this whole fucking thing. The two start connecting over their sobriety. And The Rock tries to convert Tony to Christianity. While Tony is eating a Taco Supreme from Taco Bell.
A very soggy Taco Supreme.
I don't even care, dude. It sounds so fucking delicious, dude. My mouth is watering right now just thinking about it. I love Taco Bell so much. And then next time we see Tony, they've taken off the blindfold, and instead they've decided to use period pads on his eyes, and they put like sunglasses. They had like 2 period pads. Then Marky Mark tries to force Tony to sign his money over, but he wasn't breaking. Then we see The Rock and Tony start to become friends, and it gets the attention of Marky Mark, so he decides to recruit his girlfriend Serena, and tells her that he tells her that he's in the CIA, and she starts like fucking grinding all over him in that scene. She's like, "Have you ever spanked one of your people who you arrested?" I'm like, "Oh Jesus, Marky Mark, take it easy, Marky Mark." And then Tony tries to run away and escape, but The Rock knocks him out while wearing a super tight shirt that says Team Jesus on it. And then he tells
I like when he has his hand on his head.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Do you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior?"
And then he tells Tony Shalhoub, he says like, "Damn it, why did you make me do that to you, Victor?" And he says, "God gave me 2 gifts. 1, this amazing body, and 2 was the ability to knock a motherfucker out." Then after about 3 weeks of torture, Tony finally signs the contracts, but the bank tells Marky Mark both Tony and Mark need to be present to sign it over. And then Marky Mark goes to his boss, John.
Notary.
Yeah, they go to John, who is a notary, and he stamps the documents for him. And then Marky Mark.
Be a notary.
How do you even become a notary? Because I feel like there's a lot of like legal implications that come with that. Like you could easily,
that's true.
You could easily do what this guy did in this movie and just kind of like,
and then get 15 years.
Yeah, like how do they keep track of all that shit? But and I guess they have that special stamp too. Like, what if you lose that stamp?
Send my notary.
What if you like lose that stamp? What if someone steals the stamp? Like, how does that make any sense? Like one stamp just controls your notary privileges. It's crazy. Then Marky Mark
forged that stamp too.
Yeah,
right?
like you could just make that stamp. I don't understand how that works.
Maybe it's different now. This was in the 90s. I keep forgetting.
True. No, notaries are still around, but like, yeah, I don't know how that works. It's and then Marky Mark tells Rock that they are going to need to take Tony out, or else he can ID all of them. And Marky Mark tells Rock he's going to need to get Tony drunk. They put Tony in a car with a propane tank and try to crash it to kill him, but the airbag and seatbelt keep him alive. So they decide to set the car on fire and blow it up. But as they turn their backs, Tony is still alive. And this whole scene, way too long. By the way, they try to kill him like 3 times, and he still survives. I'm like, okay,
dude, that whole part. And I thought there was something special about this scene, like when they were panning down after hitting the that, what was that, ATM or like a guard shack?
Yeah,
or something?
they hit like some kind of like guardrail thing or like.
So they're like panning down after they hit it, and then there's a CCTV camera.
Oh.
Right there, and I was thinking like, oh, that's how that's gonna come into play later.
I didn't even notice that.
No.
But yeah, instead they turn their backs on Tony, still alive, walks out of the car on fire. So Marky Mark tells Rock to run over Tony's head and tells Rock, "Congratulations, you just killed a man."
I know, that's fucked up. Dude.
The Rock's like, "Yeah, we did." And Marky Mark's like, no, you did.
You did.
All I did was give you the options. You didn't have to follow my orders.
What a dick.
What a dick, dude. Yeah, fucking asshole. We're in this together, all right? We're all assholes together. And then the police arrive at the site of the crime, but Tony is still alive. And the police question Tony at the hospital, and he tells them everything that happened, but they don't believe a word he said. Then the gang find out Tony is still alive and decide to pay him a visit at the hospital. And then meanwhile, Tony phones retired private investigator Ed DuBois III, played by Ed Harris. Fucking Ed Harris, just an amazing actor as well. While Tony's on the phone, that super fat guy who he shares the room with has explosive diarrhea in the bathroom.
God. He said, "I'm sorry." He runs out. Oh my god!
Oh my god! And it's all over the fucking walls. Fucking
Dumb and Dumber.
Disgusting, dude. It's fucking gross.
It's over the walls.
We see the gang dressed in scrubs exit an elevator, but they get lost finding the ICU with like all the fucking lines on the floor. There's a point where Anthony Mackie like gets on all fours and he's like looking at the lines. He's like, where did these go? And then shit, where am I? And then DuBois declines Tony's case because he also thinks that Tony is lying. Then he tells Tony to get the hell out of there fast because those people are going to be coming for him. And it is now January 1995. And we see our boys living it up. Marky Mark has moved into Tony's house, his big old mansion. The Rock is clubbing with Serena. Anthony Mackie is banging Rebel Wilson, and he eventually marries her. And again, The Rock just being awesome in this movie. He snorts cocaine off of Serena's massive booty, and he's just living the fucking dream, dude. What a role he took, man. It's so good. They cut to Tony staying at a shitty motel when he's visited by Ed Harris. And Tony's just a fucking mess at this point. He's taking meds and he's got fucking pizza boxes and shit all over the place. Then Ed Harris decides,
let me get one more of those.
Yes. He's like, yeah, can I get one more of those blue pills? He's like, no,
I think you're done.
Yeah, you don't need it anymore. Then yeah, Ed Harris has decided to accept his case now. We see Marky Mark living the fat life, PH fat, at Tony's old house and hanging out with hanging out and playing basketball with the neighborhood kids, and he's fucking just dunking on them and shit.
I love it. He said, "It's so the fat kid." He said, "I know your mom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Eyeing me.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right.
Say
I
that.
know your mom was eyeing me down the street the other day. Careful, I'll be your stepdad one day.
I'll be your stepdad in a week." And then it cuts to him fucking just benching 3 plates all while like the kids are watching. He's like,
that's close grip.
That's the close grip. That's 300 pounds close grip. All right, guys. And then, oh my god, dude.
It's like pussy, right?
This part, I was fucking crying laughing. The Rock walks in with Serena. Serena's ass is just out there in that short ass dress. Marky Mark like looks. Yeah. Oh no, this part first though. He's like looking at her ass, and he looks at the kids. He's like, "Fucking." What does he say? He's like.
Oh, he's like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that
he's
was
like,
mine.
He's like, hey, you like that shit, huh? Do you see that? He's like, hey, you like that Russian pussy, don't you?
He said that was mine.
And then all the kids start nodding. They're like, fuck yeah, dude. There's just something about like having no filter around kids that is just so fucking funny to me,
it's
dude.
So perfect. That reminded me that specific moment where you're talking about reminded me of like Why We Love Bad Santa.
Yes, exactly.
No filter around.
I was
just raunchy comedy, you know.
I was crying laughing when he just looks at her ass and he's like, "You like that shit?" Huh? To the kids, and they're like, "Yeah." And they cut to the gang enjoying the fruits of their loins, and Ed Harris spying on them from afar, taking pictures of them and following them around town and talking to their business associates. And then Marky Mark is now holding a neighborhood watch meeting, and Serena is there serving pigs in a blanket, and one of the guys there is just so fucking thirsty for her. He like gives her like one of the pigs in a blanket, and he's like, "I will eat anything that you cook for me. I love it so much." And The Rock is just fully off the reservation now. He's wearing a dope ass outfit in this scene. He's wearing a Adidas track jacket. Like a white Adidas track jacket, but it's unzipped, and he's wearing nothing underneath, and it's so he can't even sit still anymore. He needs a little tootski of Coke in the middle of the meeting. He's just in the back. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's the one right there. Yeah,
that's it right there."
That's the one.
Oh yeah.
And then he's in the middle of the meeting. He's just fucking yelling out random shit. He's like, I've been to jail. He's just the neighborhood watch. I've been to jail. And then Ed Harris is there and he's spying on them. Then Marky Mark confronts Rock about his habits and tells him to get his shit together. Then at the Rock's hotel, he's just out of control even more. The place is a mess. He's coked out of his mind, and the hotel bill is over 40 grand.
I like the part where she's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
He's crawling out from all fours behind the couch. I was praying.
His eyes are like super red. And he's
he's got that concerned look, like
coke all over his face, man. He's so fucking funny. His hotel bill is over 40 grand, but he is now out of money. And he says, quote, sometimes when you hit rock bottom, you happen to be on the 20th floor. And he gives a little wink at the camera. Rock bottom, baby.
I like that.
And then
where he's just over the balcony. It's just got the wind, and he's
like crying and shit. And then Ed Harris tells Tony that all the documents he signed are all legally binding and shows the gang enjoying all the money he signed over. Shows pictures of the gang enjoying all the money, and Ed decides to go to work on these guys. Now we see Ed show up to the Sun Gym and is signed up with a training session with Marky Mark, and goddamn, Ed Harris starts doing curls and shit, and he's again, he's in great shape for his age. Good for him. Then we cut to Anthony and Rebel Wilson's wedding. We see The Rock in a bad place here. The Rock is low on funds, so he decides to rob one of those security trucks and steals bags of like coins and cash and shit. And then The Rock hides out in a salon with one of the bags, and he's like, "Is this the wait for a haircut? I just need a trim." He's completely bald. And then he decides to open one of the bags up, and it shoots like that security ink all over his face and all over the cash, rendering it completely useless. And then The Rock tries to get away, jumps in the water, but catches a bullet in the foot and gets his toe shot off.
This was like a whole like.
This was
extra,
too long too. This was way too long.
Too much right here, you know.
This was a lot. But he still gets to Anthony's wedding somehow. And he tells Marky Mark what happened. Then Rock tells Mark there's a man named Fred Griga who has millions, so they can steal, or that they can steal again because he's broke now. Then Anthony hears this plan and is interested too because he's also going broke from all these dick shots he's been getting from Peter Stormare. Then Tony calls Marky Mark's boss, John, and tells him he wants his money back now. And then John confronts Mark about this and decide to hunt Tony down and find out which motel he's staying at. But Tony isn't there when they get there, but Marky Mark finds out who's been paying for Tony's room, and it's none other than his client, Ed Harris. And then cut to Ed Harris talking to the chief of police, and he tells him Tony was telling the truth, and they all fucked up, and they need to get on it before they strike again. And then Marky Mark tells Rock it's time to move forward with his plan. So the gang set up a meeting at Frank Griga's house, and then Marky Mark starts a presentation about a cell phone service in India, and one of the fucking funniest things I've ever seen. There's like a picture. There's a picture of a white dude in a Native American costume that comes on the screen, and Marky Mark's like, "You see this guy? This is a woo-woo Indian. We're not here. We're not after them. We want the red dots. We want the Gandhi kind." And then another picture pops up on the screen, and Frank Grigas is like, "Those are Japanese people." we see the picture, and it's a picture of like Japanese women in kimonos. And Anthony Mackie's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Oops, that's not the right picture." And then Frank's wife shows up, and then Frank's like, "Hey, honey, come over here, meet my friends. Show them your tits."
Oh my god!
He's like, "Show them your tits. Go ahead." And then the gang meet up with Frank at Anthony's house. And he's killed by Marky Mark after a scuffle, and some weights fall on his head.
Dude, that was brutal.
Dude, and then Anthony Mackie and the wife start dancing, and then The Rock's kind of just sitting there, and then Anthony Mackie's like, "Come on, Rock, come join us." And The Rock's like, "I don't dance, but I do this." And he takes off his shirt, he starts doing push-ups.
Yeah.
And Anthony Mackie's like, 78, 79, 80. This is a house record right here. It's so good. He's like, yeah, and his fucking arms are super juicy. And then Marky Mark and Rock take off to get the safe, but the combination doesn't work. Then Anthony gives the big booby wife some more tranquilizer, but she ends up dying. All of this, by the way, too long. They keep cutting back and forth, and I'm like, oh my god, a whole nother heist that we have to go through. Please cut this in half. And then Marky Mark says fuck the code and takes Frank's sick ass purple Lambo out. The gang load up the bodies in a van, bringing them back to their warehouse. And then again, all of this takes a long time. They have to go to like Home Depot, get tools and shit. And then it cuts to Tony's stolen dong being found and the Rock's severed toe being found by the cops. And at the warehouse, some good old-fashioned Breaking Bad body disposals going on. They're chopping up the body to put them in barrels. And then during all this, the Rock decides to make a run for it. Then Marky Mark and Anthony decide to dump the bodies in the Everglades. I'm breezing through all this, by the way. All of this take way longer in the movie.
It's too long.
Way too long. So I was like, I'm cutting all the fat off of this. And then it cuts to the police chief putting together a plan to simultaneously hit all of their known locations at once and take them all down. Now we're back at the scene from the opening of the movie where they hit Anthony's house, they hit the Rock's church, and they hit Marky Mark's gym. Then Mark is the only one to get away, but he goes to the Bahamas to Tony's offshore accounts. There's no cash in the deposit boxes. And then Ed finds him at the bank, but Mark makes a run for it. Tony runs him over with a car, and Ed takes him into jail. They all end up in court, and The Rock just fucking snitches them all out immediately.
He's just pointing out
he's like,
manipulated me.
He killed this guy. We chopped this body up, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. They all end up in court.
That reminds me of another Michael Bay movie in Transformers when who's from Blackish? Anthony
Anderson, yeah.
Dude,
she's the one.
He said we gotta be she did it. She's the one.
Dude, my favorite line though, he's like, they could tell you're guilty if you don't eat any of their food. And he's like, I ate the whole plate of donuts.
I ate the whole plate of donuts.
He's like, I ate the whole plate. So good. Oh man. They all end up in court. Rock snitches him out. And then the Rock gets 15 years in jail and finds Jesus again in jail. They cut to him like singing in choir in jail, and it's so fucking funny. And then Marky Mark and Anthony are both sentenced to death, which I totally forgot about. I was like, damn, I did not even realize they were sentenced to death. And then long story short, the movie ends with mugshots of the actors and mugshots of the actual people, which I always love when movies do that, where they show like the actors and then the actual people who played them. But that's it. That's the end of Pain and Gain, Myles. Myles, let's get into a ranking of this movie. Where would you put this on the list with Scorpion King and The Rundown?
Scorpion King, Rundown. I'll put it at the bottom.
Ooh, you're gonna put it below Scorpion King? You think Scorpion King's better than this movie?
Yeah, yeah. I'm more entertained with Scorpion King than I am with Pain.
That's true. A lot less fat in Scorpion King. This one had so much fucking fat on it. This might have been like the most I had to cut out of a Rundown when it comes to a movie. Like I've never had to cut as much out because there was just so much crap in this. But I did like this actually more than Scorpion King just because of The Rock's character, man. It's just his character was so good. It's a nice, refreshing character for The Rock to play, and it's something we're honestly probably never gonna get ever again from The Rock. He's just so famous now, and he would probably never do that for his own brand.
True.
But,
yeah. Good point.
I just love the role, and I love Tony Shalhoub in it. Marky Mark, say what you will. Anthony Mackie's great in it, but I enjoyed this film. I really did, even though it did drag. But I would put it at number 2. I would leave The Rundown number 1. Pain and Gain number 2, and then Scorpion King at number 3.
Yeah, good point. All right, I will just switch those last two. But that's it.
But Myles, did you have any trivia facts for us?
I did. So since this is based on a true story, I wanted to see where they are, now. They give you a little backstory.
Oh yeah, they did
are
say
kind
that
of now at the end of the movie.
They said that I think the Rock's character is actually out now.
Well,
That's what
the
they said at
thing
the
with
end.
Rock's character was that what I was reading is that it's not based off solely one person.
Oh,
It was a culmination of some people that were all had something to do with the kidnappings that was going on. So they said that is The Rock's character Paul Doyle actually based on a real life individual? Yes, but not just one individual. During our research to Pain and Gain, Paul Doyle is a composite of primarily Carl Weeks with shades of Jorge Delgado and Mario Sanchez. Sanchez was a weightlifting instructor brought in to serve as the intimidator during the Schiller kidnapping.
oh, okay.
So survivor Mark Schiller describes the Havana-born Jorge Delgado as meek, going on to say that he wouldn't hurt a fly. So that's where they probably got that like that baby kind of like teddy bear kind of persona for The Rock from that character, and then they got kind of like an intimidator from this character, and so they kind of just threw it all together.
Combine them. Okay,
yeah.
Which is great. Yeah, I love that. I love that they did that because it made such a good character. Yeah,
it did. It threw a lot of, because like having other characters in it would just be too much, you know, for a movie that already had too much. But Marky Mark's character Daniel Lugo is still on death row.
Oh, they haven't killed him yet.
No, and he's, I know, many appeals later, he still hasn't, you know, they're like, nah, fuck that. You get in the book still.
Crazy.
Anthony Mackie's character, Adrian Doorbal, from what I Noel Noel, Adrian Doorbal. Because of changes to capital punishment laws, Doorbal has had his death sentence overturned in 2017.
Whoa.
However, he may still come before a jury again if Miami prosecutors seek the death penalty.
So he's just serving life in prison then, probably?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
I don't know, man. Well, I mean, what would you rather do? Life in prison or just death penalty? I don't even know. What if the prison sucks?
That's
a tough one.
It's a tough one, but I just hope I never have to make that decision.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna kill anybody. I think you're fine.
John Meesey, who was Rob Corddry's character.
I know you want to say Danny Cordray from The Office.
That's exactly who I wanted to say, dude.
That's not a salesman. That's a male model.
That is a male model. That's a male model. So on July 20th, 1998, he was sentenced to 56 years imprisonment for kidnapping, extortion, and judge set aside the convictions for the Griga and Furton crimes. So Meesey appealed, and the State Cross appealed the sentence to the Florida District Court of Appeal, 3rd District. Jesus Christ. District Court of Appeal judges ruled that at the trial, the judge had improperly set aside the 2 racketeer-influenced and corrupt organization convictions and ordered a new sentencing hearing to occur on those counts. In 2003, Meesey was sentenced to 30 years imprisonment for 1 count of conspiracy to commit racketeering. So I don't know where he's at right now. He didn't really give much on that, but I don't know. It's more than what was at the end of the movie.
The best part about like those mugshots too, like they would show the actor and then the real person. I'm like, oh, they look nothing like the actual people. Nothing. Yeah, especially Rob Corddry's character, the guy.
Terrible.
Yeah, the guy who the real guy was like a big old fat dude with like a blonde mustache. He looked like Andy Reid, but
they remind me of the guy from Big Fish. You know, the dad.
Yeah.
Jorge Delgado, in return for testifying in favor of the state, Delgado was sentenced to 2 prison terms of 5 and 15 years. He served only 7 years in jail and was released from the Everglades Correctional Institution in West Dade on September 27, 2002. In 2008, he was arrested for felony grand theft, receiving 1 year of probation.
Wait, which guy was this?
Jorge Delgado. This is one of the guys that The Rock's character
was modeled after. I see. Okay.
The other one was he's free. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, so they're both free then.
Yeah, Mario Sanchez, and yeah. So there's that. As far as trivia, I got some pretty juicy ones. So
Love
everybody bulked up for this movie. Anthony Mackie, he only had 3 weeks to train before filming
that
began,
sucks.
which
That's why
is-
he's so
yeah.
small. That sucks, man. I wish
I
they
know,
would have
which-
given him more time.
He was able, however, to put on 17 pounds of muscle and bulked up to 213 pounds.
Damn, 17 pounds. Good for him.
Marky Mark bulked up to 212 pounds for this film. Marky Mark is not a tall guy, so 212 pounds.
He was a thickie. There was a part where he's like talking on the phone. You could see like his gut. I'm like, oh man, I haven't seen Marky Mark like this thick ever. This is crazy.
I know, right? Big, bro. Here, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson
Here we
bulked
go.
up to nearly 300 pounds.
Let's
for his role in
fucking
this
go.
300 pounds. How much percent body fat do you think he had in this movie?
Oh man, I want to say 8. I don't even know. Like
A good number, below 8, for sure.
below 8, I don't know, 5 maybe. Because he was thick though, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you could see the definition, but he was definitely thick.
Yeah. I want to say, well, they don't really have like a number, but it's got to be like 5% at least, you know, or at most, because he was shredded still.
Almost 300 pounds. God damn.
Yeah. Almost 300 pounds. That's a lot. It's a big ass boy right
Delicious boy. Jesus
Yeah, it
Christ.
So they all bulked up, obviously. At just over $20 million, this movie is Michael Bay's lowest budgeted film since his feature film debut, Bad Boys, in '95.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bay, Wahlberg, and Johnson took pay cuts to keep the budget down. Michael Bay wanted Marky Mark to be as tan as possible, so Wahlberg, throughout filming, had to get a full body fake tan every week for the movie.
He didn't even look that tan.
He did not.
What the
He
fuck?
did
That
not.
did nothing. Yeah.
The home of Frank Griga belongs to Michael Bay.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's a nice house too. Yeah, okay.
It's also the former Miami home of Hulk Hogan.
Oh shit.
Seen often in Hogan
Knows best. Oh fuck! I fucking used to watch that show. Oh shit! Damn, that's crazy.
Man, I used to watch that too.
Yeah. Oh my god, what a show. Oh yeah, I know. Damn. Wow.
When Adrian presents a dog to his girlfriend Robin, the Dexter apartment building in the background can be seen.
What? Oh
Yeah.
man, I didn't even notice that. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I didn't notice that
Love
either.
Dexter.
you
Love
know?
it. Love it so much.
Sucks. Rebel Wilson, an avid nunchucks user, brought her own nunchucks for the sex scene.
That's
to
awesome.
Spice things up.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Dude, she puts it under her thing. She's like, yeah. Oh, dude,
He's
that's
the
awesome.
best. I love
When The Rock had rode in Daniel's car, the T-tops had to be removed because he was so tall.
I know. I remember watching that scene. His head is like a fucking above the thing, dude.
Oh man. So Johnny Woo's character is based on a real guy named Tuan Tommy Vu. He's a 1980s to 1990s king of the infomercials.
Oh, I remember that guy. Well, I don't remember, but I've seen clips of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked him up too. I was
Yeah.
like, dang, yeah, I'm pretty sure my parents would know exactly who he is.
They
too.
did like there was like something on Instagram I saw because they did like a deep fake with Bobby Lee's face on that
Oh,
guy's
God.
face. It's so fucking funny.
God.
It looks so good.
How did that work? Bobby Lee's face is fat. I don't. This one's stupid. Wahlberg said that his sons loved the enormous, muscular bodybuilder physique that he was sporting during filming, but his daughters hated it. God,
Who cares what they think? Fuck them.
I know. Michael Bay had been wanting to make this film since 2000. He delayed doing it multiple times in favor of the Transformers films. He specifically said that after those movies, he wanted to make a small, inexpensive film as a change of pace.
Big mistake. God damn those fucking Transformers. Hate them.
So I remember you telling me this part. Wahlberg was in the process of trying out supplements for his own line of bodybuilding products while bulking up for this role.
Oh, right.
So,
Marked.
he said he effectively got a bodybuilder physique by using his own products. Yep.
Yeah, did
And
you
you told me about that.
yeah, remember the name of it? Marked.
Yeah,
What a fucking-
marked. It was red, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What a weird name, Mark. That sounds so douchey. Like, why would you put your own name in it? Like, come up with something more creative. Come on.
So I don't know if you remember, but Ed Harris, he pretends to be a client at the gym, and he says he works in lawn and garden. Well, he actually spent several years doing all the commercial voiceovers for radio ads for Home Depot.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize that. Okay, now that I'm like thinking about it, okay, I remember that. Yeah. Ed Harris, what a gem! Totally forgot he was in this movie.
He's great. He's fantastic. That's as far as cameos. You said Kurt Angle. We had Vladimir Klitschko.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was in the
beginning. Lugo holds the punching bag for a heavyweight champion who was wearing a USA shirt, which is funny because he's not.
Yeah, he's not even American.
And then you have Vitali Zorowetsky. The well-known Miami prankster of YouTube is briefly seen going down the stairs as Lugo goes up following the kidnapping.
Oh shit! He was one of those. Yeah, he was one of those guys who streaked at like one of the Super Bowls. I remember that.
Yeah, Vitali. He was he's like one of those assholes that got ousted, but then he's still doing shit now.
He was like he was in a porno once, but he couldn't get his dick hard like Anthony Mackie in this.
Ew.
And everybody made fun of him. I was like, oh damn, that does suck. Now it's out there. Like, what are you gonna do? There's done, no bro. Getting rid of that.
You're done, bro. But yeah, that's all I got for you.
That's it. All right. I guess that's it. We did the ranking. So next week is going to be our final week of rock and reviews. We do have a schedule coming up after. I want to save that for next week though. We'll say that schedule at the top of the show next week. I was supposed to do that today. Totally forgot. That's all right. We'll save it for next show. We'll give the future schedule at the top of the show next week. But our final movie of rock and reviews will be Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Very excited for that. It's actually pretty good. Myles, you haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited for you to watch it.
I got one more thing here real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which I just read it right now. It says, though based on a true story, some scenes, such as the Hands barbecue scene, are creative additions.
So they lied to us.
I thought that was
fucks.
I know, because they put that. This is still based on a true story, like almost like right after that.
It's a funny, like, I guess it's a funny bit to add, but yeah, that sucks. Yeah. I thought that was real too. But Myles, give us the plugs, and we are out of here for today.
SortaInteresting.com, that you can find this podcast and podcasts from the past. You can also go there and check out Patreon, patreon.com/sortainteresting. That's where you can donate. You can become a patron. You can help us out. You can feed us. We're starving.
And then we'll take shots of patron for you.
That's a good idea.
Patron for a patron.
And then when we get, that high tier, we get some Don Julio up in here.
Hey, have you seen those bottles at Costco that they have? That shit's like this tall, dude.
The 1942.
Yeah.
Really tall one, dude. That shit is so good.
I know. I've had it once. So good. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, go there, check out the rest of the two movies that we reviewed in this Rock and Reviews. We've also reviewed The Rock in some other movies, the entire Fast franchise.
Go check that out. We got all those.
Yeah, check all that out. And what else? We got Twitter. We have Instagram. We all do. Myles Darling, Christian Patam, Sorta Interesting, no G on Twitter. Sorta Interesting Podcast on Instagram. We also have a YouTube. Go to YouTube. We don't have our own URL yet, but you go to YouTube, you type Sorta Interesting, and we're the first one that pops up. We flood the page, and
dude, that Mummy Returns podcast almost at 11,000 views now. It's great. I don't understand what's going on. It's crazy.
I don't. Yeah, people just go. HBO Max has the entire catalog of mummy movies.
Did you ever watch those animated movies yet? Those DC animated. Like the
not yet.
Justice League Dark.
Not yet.
Something
like that. I want to. I'm going to, but what sucks is like I started watching this other show that I have to tell you about.
Oh, which is what?
Called Flight Attendant. The Flight Attendant.
Oh, with Kaylee
Cuoco.
Cuoco, yeah.
Cuoco.
I think she was nominated really for like an Emmy too for that.
So. She does a really good job.
What is it about?
In this movie. So she's a flight attendant, and she's also an alcoholic.
Oh,
and
awesome! That already sounds
She has a one-night stand in Bangkok. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
She bangs some cock in Bangkok,
Wow.
and it's with a guy that was in first class, and she has a fantastic time from what she can remember. The next morning, she wakes up, and he's laying in the bed next to her with his throat slit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So it's like a mystery drama kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of comedy thrown in there at times,
Dark
but she does a really good, she's really good at. I'm only like 4 episodes in.
I gotta check this out then. Okay.
It's really good. Yeah, you should watch it. And I wanted to ask you actually about a show. Have you seen Chernobyl?
Yes. Oh my god, fantastic, dude.
Okay,
you're gonna love it, dude. It has what a house pipe. Man.
Yeah,
he's the main guy. He's the main dude.
Oh,
it's fucking fantastic. You're gonna love it. Yeah,
big,
it's really good.
Fake.
Right. But yeah, I can't wait to watch Monk. I think I'm gonna maybe start that tonight. I got nothing else to do. So Monk, it is. I don't know where I can find it, but I will probably find it somewhere.
It's somewhere. I don't even know if USA what part of streaming platform.
I know, right? USA,
now.
Those shits are just gone after it's off of the TV. Like, where do you even find that? But all right, yeah.
Psych is also a pretty good show. But
I heard about
boring
that.
After
I heard it's
a little
good.
while. Yeah.
It's got the fucking I could fix that. Right? Anyways,
it's like that's the Raven, but of investigations. Almost.
I can fix that. Oh yeah, I heard he's got like a really good memory or something.
Yeah,
right?
he's got like some weird psychic kind of but it's weird. It play into it. It's.
I remember watching the first episode of that where he like goes to the restaurant with his dad, and the dad's like, "Tell me what's at that door or what that waitress is wearing."
And he does like some weird he does some photographic memory bullshit.
That's so Raven.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess that's it for today. We will see you next week for Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle, but have an interesting day, everybody.
Jungle, baby.